Our clinic provides the Salina community with a comprehensive spectrum of services delivered with compassion and sensitivity. We strive to create a partnership with our patients that promotes health and well-being in all phases of life. We care about our patients, we care about providing quality health care services, and we care about our community. Chances are you know many of us because Maury Clinic physicians live in Salina. We are coaches for youth sports teams and leaders for Boy Scouts and 4-H. We offer time, talent, and financial support to a variety of community events and charities. Our children attend school with your children. Our families attend worship services with your families. And we are proud to call Salina home. We have a vested interest in the success of this community, and we remain committed to an independent practice model that promotes our proud heritage and philosophy to provide quality medical care centered on the relationship between each patient and the physician of their choice. You have a choice for your medical care. Choose a doctor dedicated to the pursuit of excellence in healthcare services. Choose Maury Clinic.
What did that mean? Minor surgery. Not to me it wasn't. I'm no risk taker. That's why I chose to have my surgery at Salina Regional. I wanted all the resources of a full-service hospital available to me. You know, just in case.
It's your choice where to go for surgery. Salina Regional Health Center, here for all your surgery needs.
The friendly staff at Salina Sports Medicine Orthopedic Clinic, located at 523 South Santa Fe, are always welcoming new patients to serve in the areas of sports medicine, total joint care, and more. You can contact the office at 785-823-7213 or toll free at 1-866-406-4141.
Something to 18. And when I was talking to Coach Slade for campus, I told him the words I had heard it described about his game was that they had left points on the board, and he said exactly. He said we moved the ball, we had chances to score, and we didn't take advantage. And then we had penalties and turnovers, things shot themselves in the foot, much like Central did last Friday night against Oklahoma. And you can't do that when you go up against good football teams. And Newton has become a good football team with the addition of the new coach last year. So it's going to be like this here again tonight. He's going to be playing against a much better team than what Newton is in Salina South. In my opinion, this is a team that should have won the state championship last year. And everyone thought, well, you know, that was a really rich class South had last year, that senior class. Well, I don't think they've missed a beat. They just reloaded. They're not rebuilding, they're reloaded. And Coach Sellers has talked about that before. Sam has told me that they take time practice and during the week to work with the younger kids to develop them, to prepare them for stepping into a varsity role. Because you never know. South is down one person right now, and Mr. Jacob Yarkowitz, and I know I'm not pronouncing that name right. I've always had trouble with that name. Number 12, but he's only going to be out for tonight. He'll be back next week with a bone bruise on his knee. I know what that feels like. I did that to my forearm, just below my elbow a couple weeks ago. And I remember my wife and I were in the emergency room. The doctor came in and said, "You're going to wish it was broken." That's when I found out bone bruises take longer to heal sometimes than a broken bone. But his is not a bad one. He should be okay. They're doing all the treatment, and he should be ready to go. On the flip side, with Coach Slade and campus, they're actually missing 3 people. Their starting center broke his leg during the summer. He's out. They're hoping to have him back in time for wrestling. The backup center got hurt last week. He's now out for the year. And another player, a sophomore player, is out with a meniscus. So they have lost 3 starters off their team. And to lose him before the even season starts, kind of sad. And then they got one man who's a key player, doesn't start, but he comes in off the bench and he's just out for the game. And that's the one thing about the sport that I don't like is the injuries that the young kids have. But I'm expecting this to be a good game. They're going to want to try to attack South. He wants to spread around. He goes, I know what I'm up against. And they're going to try to catch South off guard from time to time. Where South, Coach said, I said, Sam, I think I know what you're going to say about your offense. You're going to run it. You're going to draw them in, draw them up, and then pop them over the top and over the side. He goes, yeah. I said, now, usually I would say that you would prefer to run. But he said, I've got a great passing quarterback, and that he does. Wassenberg is a great throwing quarterback. I would like to have seen what he would have done last year with Knockbar as his wide receiver. As I shared in the Central game, the difference between Wassenberg and Stonebreaker. Stonebreaker was a better running quarterback. Dalton is not a bad running quarterback. He just doesn't have the speed that Stonebreaker had. But Wassenberg can really throw it. His primary sport is baseball, and you can see it. He's very accurate. He can throw it deep. He can throw it short. He can put some loft on it. He can do what he needs to do. The fade passes. If he needs to throw a bullet, he can throw the bullet. So it's going to be a very interesting year this year for South, because South teams have always been dominant, run. But when you have a good passing quarterback, you use all your weapons, and they're going to use them. And they're going to use them to spread that offense so then they can run it. Eric McCullough had a great game last week, and everything I've been listening to him and I talked to Coach Sellers about is that he's put on weight. I wish we had one more year with him. He's a senior this year. I wish we could have got 2 years out of him. But man, when you play behind Cody Busby and then Mike Jones, it's hard to get playing time. But he is running with more authority and more speed, and it's the amount of hours he's put in the weight room is showing itself. So I'm expecting a big win for South. The wind is blowing, and I don't know if you can see it behind me, but the flags are whipping. Both coaches said if they win, they're not going to defer, they're just going to take the ball. But the better field goal kicker, I believe, is with South, a young freshman kid by the name of Castro. Let me see if I can pull up his numbers. This kid is good with the wind out to about 45 yards. Against the wind, it's between 35 and 40 yards, which is not bad when you realize that's this is high school football. But I'm trying to see if I can find his name here and get his number. I'll have to give it to you during the. Oh, yeah, here it is, number 40, Fernando Villa Castro. He's a freshman, 5'7", 200 pounds, and he's a stocky kid. He's a muscled up kid. And so now it looks like we're going to have a good kicker for 4 years. So that's going to be good news for South. Well, I can't think of anything else to talk about except it's cold, it's chilly. You see, I'm kind of bundled up, and it's going to be a very interesting game, and I'll see you at the start of the game. Well, welcome to Friday Night Access Football, week number 2, game 3. South is home, hosting the Campus Chargers, if I remember correctly. They charged into last week's game, as I shared with you the pregame, and they were up at halftime over Newton 12-6, but then ended up, I think, 36-18. And I'm looking to see if I see what they are. Doesn't really say, but it's a horse, so I think they are the Chargers. So South is, it's going to be bigger than them, and along the line on both sides. But where South is going to be better is their line is going to be a little bit faster and quicker, I believe, than them, which helps when you got to pull and get out and move. And also, I think South has a little more depth. Although Campus did bring the whole team, so make it look good on the sideline. Both teams have said that, both coaches told me that if they win, they're going to take the ball. Because I know that South has got a good kicker, and this freshman kid, Avila Castro, will be number 40. And as he continues to kick and grow and get stronger, being in this weight and conditioning program at South, his leg's only going to get stronger. As I said in the pregame, his range is up with the wind up to 45, without the wind between 35 and 40.
Salina South has won the toss. They will receive the football on the south end.
Although Coach Sellers did tell me last week, the game that I missed, that he did defer, and which caught all the coaches by surprise because he's never deferred before. And they still won, so I guess it really doesn't matter much. They put like 60-some points up on the board. But it's going to be a very interesting game for me because this will be the first time I get to see South. And you know, when you lose a talent-rich class of seniors like they did last year, sometimes you see a drop. But Coach Sellers has emphasized me many times over that they spend time every week and when they can, every practice, of working with the younger kids to develop them so that instead of rebuilding, you just reload. Now, and I'm interested to see the running style that might differ. Mike Jones' running style different than Cody was. Cody was a lot bigger, muscular, and he was fast, but he wasn't afraid to run through people. And I'm not saying Mike wasn't, but Mike was more speed, more elusive. And what I've seen Eric, when he played, if Mike was hurt or when the lead was real big and he got playing time, he has some speed and elusive too, but he's put on some weight in the weight room, and now that he's a senior, he's running with more authority and power. So we should see here real quick. And I see a couple of my daughter's classmates are back for the game. It's strange now that my daughter's off to school. We're empty nesters now with 2 spoiled rotten cats.
Number 13, Dalton Rogers. Back in for the Cougars, number 2, Eric McCullough.
Boy, that kicker's not very big. And he's pooching it. Oh, there's a gap. There's a gap. He's still running. He's still running.
Kickoff return, number 15, Dylan Becker.
Number 15, Dylan Becker, please wide receiver. He's a 6'2", 158-pound junior wide receiver, decent back, and he had some, his name called quite a bit last week.
First and 10 Cougars, ball at their own 48-yard line.
And they go with the wide receivers stacked. They're going to say incomplete. They're going to say incomplete, that it touched the ground. Incomplete pass. So.
Pass is ruled incomplete.
Yeah, we have no life.
My two usual people who sit with me up by here for the South game. Their kids have graduated too. They still come to the game.
Second down 10.
If they had a heated booth, I think my wife might be interested in coming. But she doesn't deal very well with cold. This is going to be a handoff. And he's going to lose yardage on the play.
Number 2, Eric McCullough. Making the stop for the Colts, number 44.
They're going to be about half a yard loss. They're going to mark it at least a yard. This will be 3rd and 11. And that's where that incomplete pass kind of hurt you, because he was going to get some yardage on that play. I see him running that play again, faking that way, and then coming back to the lone wide receiver, back to the left or to the opposite side of the field, depending on which side they put that stacked formation. Now they have 3 wide receivers in the traditional. They're going to roll out. He's going to throw it, and he's going to drop it. Not always South wanted to start the game. 2 incomplete passes. One, the quarterback underthrew the ball. The other one, although he wasn't going to have enough for a first down, but it wouldn't put the ball over the 50, and the wide receiver just dropped the ball.
That brings up 4th down for the Cougars in punt formation, number 82, Jacob Foster. Back deep for campus is number 2, Noah Moody.
And we are in punt formation. Chin strap. Yep, chin strap, which is a safety issue, and if they can't get it on, then he has to leave the field. But Mister got it fixed. Not a deep kick. Better hope for a bounce, and they're not going to get it. It's going to be 17-yard punt. Mr. Foster just shanked that punt.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have a Nissan Sentra Veterans Tag, Saline County 52908. Nissan Sentra, Saline County Veteran Tag 52908.
All right, let's see what South's defense does now.
At the north gate, it needs to be moved. 1st and 10 campus, 35-yard line.
Both teams play the 4-3. He's looking to throw it right away. They threw it to the underneath wide receiver, who was wrapped up as soon as he caught it, but still pick up about 6 yards on first down, and they're in the hurry-up offense.
Taking the stop for South, number 22, Cole Calvert. Gain of 6 on the play, 2nd down 4, 41-yard line.
The low snap. He's going to have enough to go for a first down. They were able to get to the corner.
Number 22.
They had the people out on their. That's where the outside linebacker, defensive end, has got to get penetration and make sure no one gets around him. That's the defensive end. That's your number 1 job. No one gets outside you.
10 Colts, ball at their own 49-yard line.
Another pass out to the left. He's going to pick up about 3 or 4 yards, it looks like.
Pass complete to number 15, Colby Lieber.
3 yards. And matter of fact, the defensive back there really didn't get up there as fast as he should. He was late getting over there. Well, it was way overthrown. And D'Angelo Turner actually had a better shot at it, but it was even overthrown him too. But the wind is coming from the north to the south, so it's behind this quarterback as he throws. So he's got to take a little bit off the ball when he throws it.
48-yard line.
Now South is coming with 3 down linemen. and they still got pressure on him. And it was intercepted. And he might just take it. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougar!
I think that's number 8, Bryce Benoit. It is. He got a couple of key blocks and then just outran everybody. And it was the quarterback who was got the contact, but just didn't get there in time, and he was able to get it inside the foam pylon.
Interception return for the touchdown by number 8, Bryce Benoit.
And so South scores first when an interception. South only rushed 3, and they still got pressure and forced them into a bad throw. Kick is good, so with 9:45 to go on the first quarter, we got scores: Atlanta South 7, Wichita Campus 0. Boy, that was just kind of set up because the ball was on the far side of the hash mark, and he kind of threw back, and he was throwing off his back foot and being hit at the same time, so he had nothing on it. So not only was it not accurate, it wasn't a hard thrown ball. It was an easy pick for Mr. Benoit, and then he got 2 great blocks, and that's all he needed. And then he outraced the linemen who were behind him. And then it was just the quarterback who had caught up to him right there at the goal line, but didn't get there enough time to prevent from getting that ball inside the pylon. And that's all you got to do is get the ball inside the pylon. Now, I don't know if high school rule is the same as it is at the pro or at the collegiate, but the pro level is all you got to do is touch the pylon with the football, and it's a touchdown. I don't understand that because you see where the pylon sits, it sits outside the line. Can I have a pooch kick? And he's going to take it on a bounce, and because as soon as he went down, he went down. And he's kicking into the wind, so it's going to be at the 23. So we'll take that. That was a 37-yard kick in the wind, and it's a bit of a stiff breeze. Not a real hard breeze, but a stiff breeze. But I think also that was designed that way to kick it up in the air to give your defenders a chance to get down there and cover the ball. Well, South is back down to a 3-man rush because it looks like Newton's in a total pass package. And they actually let the man go, and he dropped it.
Pass incomplete, intended receiver number 15.
The left defensive end, if it had not been a quick called pass play, had a clean shot on the quarterback. And because the quarterback was looking back over to his left, he couldn't see him coming in from the right.
23-yard line.
And that's going to be tackled for a loss. Again, that defensive end out there, or the linebacker, is not being, that's 2 plays in a row. He was not picked up.
Making the stop for the Cougars, number 87,
Braden Burlew is the senior 6 foot, 203-pound defensive lineman. He played well last year for us too.
20-yard line.
And he starts in a 2-point stance. But now they're getting, this time a guy came up the middle unopposed. And when you're rushing 3 and you're putting pressure on the quarterback or making a tackle for a loss in the backfield, that's not a good sign for campus. Great sign for South, but if you're Coach Slay, you're not real happy with that, and I'm sure they're going to get them over and talk to the offensive linemen. You have your assignments.
That brings up 4th down for the Colts in punt formation, number 11, Tony Letterman.
High kick, and it was blocked, and it's going to be falling on. They're going to mark it at the 4. That's where he first touched it. They had 10 guys on the line of scrimmage, if not 11. I don't remember seeing a guy deep. They were just going to let it bounce. They must have saw something in film that this guy can get blocked, and the snap was high, and he had to jump up and get it. That throws off your rhythm, gives more time for the rush team to get in there and make the block, and they had 3 guys on him.
First and goal for the Cougars.
They're pulling him back into the huddle.
4-yard line.
They're changing the guy out. They saw that something in the defense, maybe They changed down to wide receiver, and there's going to go quick pitch, touchdown. Touchdown, Eric. They didn't even get him down.
Touchdown, Cougars!
So, turnovers can really, really hurt you. We saw that last week with Central. All their turnovers against Lawton. You can't do that against any team. You definitely can't do that against a good team. And this is what Newton doing. You can't do that against a Salina South team. Mr. Castro kicks it up again, and it's good. So with 9:04 left to go in the first quarter, you got scores. Salina South 14, Campus 0. So you have less than a minute. The South scored on an interception return at 9:40. So they took 30 seconds off the clock. They had 2 pass incompletes, first down and third down. Second down was a tackle for a loss. Campus runs a hurry-up offense, so they didn't take a lot of time off the clock. So you have less than 3 minutes off the clock. The South is up 14-0. This could be a very long night for campus.
Ladies and gentlemen, a car belonging to Jerry Dick needs to be moved. Once again, Jerry Dick, you need to move your vehicle, otherwise it will be moved for you.
In other words, they have a car illegally parked, and they've now called twice for them to move it. They told them if you don't move it, it'll be moved for you. So that would be a towing fee, which would be a night towing fee, and then you have the impound fee. All right, now this is a deeper kick, right at about the 15, against the wind. Number 1's got the angle on him. There should have been a block in the back. They're going to call a touchdown.
Touchdown, Colts.
Someone got out of their lane assignment. And if Dan Smith, Coach Smith, is still a special teams coach, that's not going to make him happy. As I've shared with you many times before, when you come down on kickoff return, everybody has a lane, and you got to stay within that lane. And there was a huge hole for him to run through. Well, they got the kick through, so with 8:50 to go in the first quarter, now you got to score Salina South 4, Wichita Campus 7, 85-yard kickoff return. Now let's see if South answers back.
Ladies and gentlemen, help support the Cougar football team by attending their
We got an official telling Sam they wanted a clip, and if there was a block in the back, even though it was right there, I think it would have came back all the way back to where the ball was caught, which would have been to 15. I don't think it's a spot foul. I'm going to have to find that out too.
Also, ladies and gentlemen, the South High Peppers are selling pink out shirts for the October 17th.
And we've got the mini cheerleaders with us tonight. I think Laura still has her t-shirt from that time. She had a lot of fun. She was down there with her friends, and that was all that she, and of course she graduated South, so her older brother Kurt was playing ball at South at the time, and so she had a lot of fun doing that. Now she's a freshman at K-State wearing that purple. Should be an interesting game tomorrow at K-State. Auburn. He's doing another pooch kick again. They're coming back to it, trying to set something up. He's got a seam, he's got a seam. We just need a little more speed. The hole was there, he just needs to be a little bit faster.
Kickoff return by the Cougars, number 19, and Tanner Robinstein. Making the stop for the Colts, number 44, Draven Gaskell.
All right, offense sputtered last time they had the ball. Well, it's not the first time they had the ball. They had a 3 and out. Let's see if they can do something now. They'll give it to the fullback. He's going to take it over the 50. They start their 48. It's going to be a 3-yard pickup. And you like to see that because Karen Stigmeyer is a senior 5'9", 209-pound running back. In other words, at 5'9", 209, he's a bowling ball.
Making the stop for the Colts, number 77, Tyler Bastian.
They used to call them fire hydrants at time, short and stocky, hard to bring down, especially keep your legs driving. It's going to be a quarterback keeper. Dalton still got it. It's going to be inside the 45. Now there's a late flag.
Dalton Wassenberg, penalty marker on the play.
Might be a holding, I'm not sure. Yep, holding. It's going to move the ball back. It's going to be a spot foul.
Holding by the offense. That's a 10-yard penalty from the spot. Replay, second down.
That was about right at the line of scrimmage, so you're looking at a 2nd and 16. So I believe if we get the ball over the 50, it wouldn't surprise me if on this play, if they go for it, if it takes 4 plays to do it. We've got that stack again out there. Interception, he threw it up. He didn't have his feet planted, trying to throw on the run, and he threw it. Just threw a jump ball up there into the wind, which you cannot do. And that was a bad decision by Mr. Dalton Wassenberg. And he knows better than that. And I bet if you asked him right now, he would tell you he's upset with himself.
Campus 1st and 10, ball at their own 45.
You got a stack. And that's incomplete. They had a stack out to the left, and he turned to throw out to the left. And they had good penetration by the defensive backs. The 2 up wide receivers are supposed to block, but they got good penetration, and they had contact made on that wide receiver before. So now they're putting 3 of them right up there on there. I like that idea. It'll be a short pickup up to the 49. It's going to be a 3rd down and 6. Now, bad about this thing about this offense, doesn't take a lot of time off, and when you have incompletes, it stops the clock. So you don't really wear out. He's looking to throw it. It was incomplete.
Pass incomplete.
Knocked loose by
Intended receiver number 8, J.D. Hill.
I think J.D. Warren, if I'm reading the number right.
In coverage for the Cougars, number 9, Stephen Slayton.
No, 9, Stephen Slayton. Excuse me, I couldn't tell if that was a 9 or a 6. And number 6 is J.D. Warren. Mr. Slayton had a heck of a game last week, folks. They were bragging about it on the radio, but I got a chance to talk to Sam. He said, yes, he had a really good game. And he has shown flashes before last couple of years of being a good player, but he had so many quality people in front of him that I think it's going to be a time. It is.
Before the snap, there's delay of game by the offense. That's a 5-yard penalty. Remains 4th down.
I'll move the ball back to the 44. Now they blocked the first one. Let's see what happens here. They do have one man back in formation. But they're not up on the line of scrimmage this time. They're watching for the fake. They almost got to him. He's got a seam. He's going to carry it up to the 35. That's about a 15-yard return by Mr. Marcotte. Another one of those returning players that, as Jacob is a junior 5'11", 130-pound wide receiver, and he got a lot of playing time last year as a sophomore. And as you've heard me preach here time and time again, when you get playing time as a sophomore and sometimes as a freshman, and then it just better prepares you as a junior and a senior. There's a straight handoff. Oh, and I think he tried to cut and stepped on somebody's foot. Yep. Eric got back to the line of scrimmage. He tried to cut, come back to the outside, and it looks like he stepped on something, and he went down real quick because he just didn't have his balance. There was nothing there. Sometimes you can turn an ankle doing that.
No gain on the play. 2nd down 10, 35-yard line.
There was a handoff to him. I thought they gave it to the fullback, but Dalton kept it. But we got a flag down right at the 34-yard line. Holding again. That's twice now on South. I'm not going to, because it's cold, I'm not going to take my gloves off to keep track of penalties, because we sit outside. We're not inside the building. If I was inside the building, I can have my gloves off. Be nice. Or I could wear my softball gloves, but that's. All right, well, South's coaches got to get that straightened out with they're going to have to get that straightened up. I was trying to look at a number. I see Brady's shirt is dressed up. Young man dresses out, 382 pounds. He's looking to throw it. And it's a swing out pass to, got the block he needed. Now it's just speed. They're not going to catch him. He might have stumbled. That's a 65, 75-yard touchdown pass. It was a swing pass out to the left flat. He cut back to the right. Then he picked up the key block. The guy had a little bit of an angle on him, but he still ran. And as you saw, he kind of tried, almost tripped him up at the 15. But he was able to keep his balance and score the touchdown. So South answers right back their score with this score. And the kick is up and good. And now at 5:47, still left to go in the first quarter, you got to score Salina South 21 and Wichita Campus 7. Well, so I have a young lady ask me what I'm doing, and that's okay, honey. That's all right. Yep, we're filming for Access TV. And we put the tape there so people don't sit in front. Maybe she could become a volunteer for us sometime in the future. She can have her own show. We just have to get her a better sweatshirt to wear. She's got a sweatshirt with graffiti on it, some red and blue animal and. All righty. Well, the South has scored 2 long touchdowns. One on a 58-yard interception return, and now a 75-yard pass completion where it really was a pass in the flat. And Mr. Eric McCullough, with a couple of key blocks, took it the distance. Here we go now, right back at the 15 again. Still got some hole up in the middle.
Kickoff return by number 1, Alex Carter.
And we got a South guy getting up limping.
Making the stop for the
And I think this is an ongoing issue because I can see the black wrap, that support thing that goes around the left ankle there, number 1. I think it's number 1. It was Logan Coble. He's a junior, 5'11", 144-pound defensive back wide receiver.
Campus 1st and 10, all at their own.
Must be an ongoing issue because that's one of those black sports wraps that Laura used to have around her ankles when she played basketball. They're going to tackle him for a loss, yard back. They just have so much better equipment now, and I'm trying to keep some kids from parking too close to the camera here. But much better equipment for injuries. Oh, nice play. The defensive back actually came off him because they faked the ball going the other way, and he was left wide open. And they're rotating out their defensive linemen. They're only rushing 3, but they're still getting pressure with 3.
1st and 10, Colts, 49-yard line.
They're going to tackle him for about a yard gain.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 87, Braden Burlew. Need a couple on the play, 2nd down 8, 49-yard line.
The ball snapped loose, and he's had to go back and fall on it. If he would have realized he had no one on him, he had a chance to pick up that ball and do something with it, but he didn't. With the rush he's been getting, he did the smart thing and just fell on it, and that goes all the way back to the 37-yard line. That's a 14-yard loss.
3rd down 22, 37-yard line.
Way overthrown, way overthrown.
Pass incomplete.
His deep balls all have been way overthrown. He's got this nice breeze at his back. He's got to learn to take a little bit off that, and because the wind will carry it.
That brings up 4th down for the Colts in punt formation number 3. Taylor Russell back deep for the Cougars.
So here we go on a punt. They blocked the first one. Second one he got off. Looks like they're going for it again. They are. And the return man did the smart thing and just leave it alone. It was short, and if you can't get to it and catch an error, you're taught just to get away from it and leave it alone.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Bucks for band 50
They went after it again.
Tickets are being sold underneath the
They weren't as close.
For $1, you get 1 ticket. For $5, you will receive 6 tickets. Help support your marching Cougars.
We got 4:04 left still to go in this first quarter, and we've already got 28 points on the board, folks. First of all, that's what the hurry-up offense and a lot of incomplete passes do for you, and has done for Wichita campus. And it's what, 2 long, actually 3 long plays, 2 for South, and 1 for campus does for you. because Campus had an 85-yard touchdown on a kickoff return.
For the Colts, number 24, Austin Select.
So you got 21 of the 28 points. 58 interception return, 75-yard touchdown pass, and 85-yard kickoff return. Doesn't take a lot of time off the clock.
Second down 5, 31-yard line.
This could be a very high-scoring game, I think, for South. Another delay handoff. They're going to do something because they're blitzing their linebackers. I sat and watched it this time.
Ball carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
They know Eric McCullough's the man. They're going to have to.
This is number 45, Joe Bolton.
They're blitzing linebackers, so I think you're going to have to get to the ball to the outside, whether that's going to be on a toss or that's going to be on a toss, a quick throw out to the wide receivers, or a quick pitch to your to Eric going to the outside. And that's what they did. Give him a chance to run, and he's going to have enough for a first down. I watched the three linebackers, and their first jab step is forward.
Ball carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
And because of it, then they have to then change directions and had to go to their left. And because of it, they weren't able to get out there in time to shut Eric off, and he has a first down.
They're going to stop for the Colts, number 77.
But when you can run up the middle,
First and 10 Cougars, 36-yard
between
line.
your center and your guards and your tackles, and between your tackle and your tight end, and do it effectively, that keeps your linebackers in. Remember I told you what South likes to do in pregame. They like to suck you in, draw you in, and suck you up. In other words, bring your safeties up. So you get as compact, and then all of a sudden they bust you around the corner or over the top.
8-4 on the play, second down 6, 40-yard line.
And also a good running game sets up your passing game. Because it's just a straight handoff. He's going to cut back around, and Eric's going to be close to a first down. Up over the 46. Penalties on the far side. We have the hoods going up, folks. Illegal procedure South. South argued something to the line judge over here. The head linesman's on the far side. He runs the change. You have the umpire, referee, and the backfield judge. They're saying, yeah, the wide receiver was correct on this side because he looked at the guy and the official told him, and that's good communication. It's also good officiating. All right, now you got first down, the 47-yard line. And it's a keeper, pitched out to Eric, but we got a flag. He's going to be knocked out inside the 10, but we got a flag right at inside the 35-yard line. Either we got a hold or a block in the back. Yep, that's the third hold on Salina South in this quarter alone. You don't even like to have that many for a whole game. That's not going to make Sam happy. Because now you had the ball inside their 10. I would say, if I had to guess, Eric doesn't quite have the speed that Mike had, but Mike was a pure sprinter. He really was. And he could just flat out, when he got the open, no one's going to catch him. So now you got first and 11. They're looking to throw it. It's going to be thrown to the underneath guy, who's still going. Touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars!
I can't get a number yet. I think that may be Jacob Marcotte.
54 yards, touchdown pass, number 5, Dalton Wasserman. Number 18,
Yep, Jacob Marcotte, the junior wide receiver I was just telling you about who got a lot of playing time last year. He got a nice block and 58 yards. So with 1:06 to go still in the first quarter, we got a score of Salina South 28, Wichita Campus 7. So those scoring for South has been 58, 5, 75, and 58. And the only reason we only had the 4-yard is we blocked a punt that was recovered. Back, we had 3 guys, I don't know which one got to it, but there was 3 guys right on them. And it got knocked all the way back inside the 4. They initially touched it at the 4 and landed on the 3, but it goes back to the initial touch, which was at the 4-yard line, and then just a quick sweep handoff to Eric around the left side, and he was in. I mean, campus must be in shock. You've given up 28 points in the first quarter alone. Now, this is not a high pooch kick. It's going to hit the ground, and that's not always a good thing sometimes, because that ball does, if it lands the wrong way, you don't know which way it's going to go. And you've seen some of those maybe highlight commercials or highlights of the fumbling, bumbling, and then people chasing the ball on the football field, anywhere from college to pros, and how comical sometimes it can be because of the way that ball bounces.
And on the tackle for the Cougars, number 30, Justin Allen.
Okay, they're back to again rushing 3. They're going to get him for a loss.
Ball carrier number 19, John Becker.
And folks, that's only from rushing 3. Their 5 linemen cannot stop our 3 down linemen.
Loss of 3, second down 13, at 30-yard line.
There should be a flag. They were calling timeout. Oh, they called timeout. They were short a guy. He was running on the field, and if not, there would have been a flag for illegal procedure. So they used their first timeout. And you got a 2nd and 13 from the 30. Boy, they've got to get working with their offensive line. South is rushing 3, and that's all they're doing. And it's kind of weird looking at the band and not seeing my daughter's classmates in it and her classmates here at the game. It's just going to be a weird transition for us, I think.
Second down 13, 30-yard line.
Oh, going to be a flag. It's going to be a legal procedure. It's going to move them 5 back. Going to move them back to the 25. And my cameraman had to go borrow his dad's camera, his dad's coat, excuse me. So now his dad's going to be freezing. Maybe you should give him this little hoodie thing so he can have that.
Second down 18, 25-yard line.
Again, Brandon Burlew got pressure on a quarterback, and then a linebacker got his hand knocking the ball down. If he'd got 2 hands up, he could have had the interception. Now you got 3rd and 18
In coverage for the Cougars is
from the
number
25.
33, Cole Hoover. Third down, 18, 25-yard line.
This is number 33, Cole Hoover. Got that knocked down. And again, they're still getting pass pressure on him. Almost intercepted again.
Pass incomplete.
Matter of fact, I think the reason it wasn't is that there was 2 defenders.
Marker on the play.
The up defender actually tipped it, and the guy who was covering him, if not, would have had the interception. It's against us. $15-yard variety.
Personal foul, roughing the passer on the defense. That's 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
They called roughing the passer. So that's automatic first down up to the 40.
First and 10,
Okay, that's 3 holding penalties and a 15. And they're moving it back against them.
Dead ball, false start on the offense, 5-yard penalty, still third down, or first down.
It's the battle of the penalties. Campus had 2 5-yarders and we had 1 15-yarder.
15, ball at the 35-yard line.
There's a quick look here out there, and he saw the guy coming. He heard footsteps, as the old saying goes, and he dropped the ball. All right.
Second down, 15, 35-yard line.
It's just going to be a straight handoff to the up back. And all he did was get back to the line of scrimmage.
Ball carry number 22, Demetrius Schley. Making a stop for the Cougars, number 59, Dusty Clouston.
And that's the first quarter with a score of Salina South 28.
Ladies and
East
gentlemen,
on Campus 7.
Quarter. South 28, Campus 7.
And interesting first quarter, 35 points on the board. And 28 of them by long scoring plays. 85-yard kickoff return by Campus. 75-yard catch and run by South. A 58-yard interception return by South, and a 58-yard pass play to wide receiver. So this is going to be a if this keeps going, we're going to have a lot of points on the board. And
ladies and gentlemen, scores from around the area. Second quarter scores, Salina Central 14, Derby 14.
wow, Central and Derby
28,
14-14.
0. Southeast Saline 14, Chapman 0. Abilene 21, Marysville 0. All second quarter
Southeast Saline up
Third down 15, 35
on
yard
Chapman.
line.
Way to get your hand in there. And that was number 9, Steve Slayton.
Noah Moody.
You're always taught that the sideline is your 12th defender. And if he had caught the ball, he was out of bounds. It wouldn't have been a completion. So they had a first down at their 40, and they're going to have
That brings up 4th down for the Colts and punt formation number 3. Taylor
Kick
Russell.
from the 35. It's their 4th down and 15. Ooh, kicked it over his head. And no laundry on the field. Mark all the way down to the 25. A 40-yard punt. It was a line drive, but it was a heck of a punt. Got a little bit of a bounce on it. Now South has to win it. They're back here in the second quarter. Let's see what they do with it.
Cougars take over 1st and 10, ball at their own 25-yard line.
The straight handoff to Eric, cutting up to the middle. He's going to get
Ball carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
almost 5 yards on the play.
Making the stop for the Colts, number 88, Caleb Parker. Also number 44, Draven Gaskell. Gain of 4 on the play, 2nd down 6.
Okay.
29-yard line.
Another, that delay. He's got to run a little bit quicker. Or they got to hold up that backside because the linebacker came on the backside and he came through on that delay.
Making the stop for the Colts, number 48. Just
He might be shooting right after from that pulling guard.
No gain on the play. 3rd down 6. 29-yard line.
Now I wouldn't mind seeing Dalton run it too. Do a rollout, and if nothing's there, then tuck it and go. Then we can do a quick pitch to the left. He's got it lined up for him. He's passed. He's got more than a 1st down. He's going to be over the 40.
Number 2, Eric
They'll mark at it
McCullough.
looks like about the 42-yard line.
Making a stop for the Colts, number 11, Tony Letterman.
The chain gang hadn't moved, but they had not received the 1st down signal. That's what they were looking for.
Cougars, 42-yard line.
He's looking to throw it. He's got a man open. That's Dylan Becker.
Number 15, Dylan Becker.
And Dylan is the junior 6'2", 158-pound wide receiver. He got behind his man. That's a nice pickup. By South, they have the ball, at the 33-yard line. I haven't had my coffee yet, but I'm waiting till I get to work tonight.
1st and 10, Cougars ball at the campus, 33-yard line.
He's looking to throw it again. He's looking to run it. We got a flag down here.
Pass is incomplete, multiple penalties on the play.
He just threw the ball away because he couldn't get to the corner. Instead of taking a loss. But I think we had something, might have pass interference down the field. So we might have offsetting penalties.
There were multiple penalties on the play. Holding by the defense. Intentional grounding by the offense. Those will offset. Replay 1st down.
Yep, that's what I thought. There was no one in the area, and Dalton should know that's right. We didn't have anybody in the area. When you got to throw the ball away, it has to be in a direction at least of a wide receiver, and there was nobody out there.
First and 10 Cougars, 3-yard line.
Here's that delay handoff. There's the seam. Take it down inside the 20.
Carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
This time they blocked on the backside, and he quicker getting off the ball.
Campus number 2, Noah Moody, and number 11, Tony Letterman.
Because you don't want to delay too long down there.
Gain of 13 on the play, 1st and 10 Cougars, 18-yard line.
Had an underneath man open, and he underthrew the middle man, which was either the underneath wide receiver or the tight end.
Pass incomplete, intended receiver number 86, Trace Kochever.
Well,
2nd down 10, 18-yard line.
that's what I thought he was going to do. I actually thought he was going to throw it to the underneath man. There's that delay handoff again with Eric. You see, he was afraid to lower his shoulder. He's down inside the 15. Looks like he's down to about the 12.
Ball carrier number 2, Eric McCullough. Making the stop for the Colts, number 24, Austin Sillett.
Pick up a 6. Be 3rd and 4. And we could be 4-down territory, although they have faith in their young kicker.
Gain of 6 on the play. 3rd down 4, 12-yard line.
Now it's that direct handoff going to the left. And they lost yardage back to the 15.
McCullough. Taking the stop for the Colts, number 44, Draven Gaskell.
And they're not running the field goal team on. They're going to go for it.
Loss of 3 on the play. 4th down 7.
4th down and 7 from the 15-yard line. They got to get to the 8. He's looking to throw it. Oh, he had it in his hands. That was a touchdown. He just didn't pull it in.
Jacob Marcotte.
That was a nicely thrown ball by Dalton.
Takes over on down.
Jacob just didn't do his part and pull it in. It was a tough catch, but you practice those and you got to make those. So this is the first failed drive, well, second failed drive for South. First one they went 3 and out.
1st and 10 Colts. Ball at the 15-yard line.
So they get the ball, they're the Colts, not the Chargers. Throw out and they're going to say that was a lateral. And they're going to mark it all the way back inside the 10. They're not calling that a forward pass. And that's got the campus coaches yelling out onto the field that was an incomplete pass.
Loss of 8 yards on the play, 2nd down, 18, ball at the 7-yard line.
As they're out to the outside, I don't think he's going to get much.
Ball carrier number 22.
They're going to get it up to the 10. Now you got a 3rd down and
3rd down 15.
3rd down and 15. Here's again that ball out into the flat, and he's going to lose yardage all the way back inside the 5. That's over a 10-yard loss.
And on the tackle for the Cougars, number 88.
No, excuse me, it's a 5-yard loss. I looked at the yard chain instead of the
gain on the play that brings up 4th down for the Colts.
The person that holds the marker that tells you the down and where the ball is at. Now you got 4th and 20. I think you need to get away from that play. cost them some yardage. Looks like they're going for it again. Timeout because the backfield judge.
Timeout. Campus.
Campus.
Their second timeout.
Second timeout. The backfield judge has started his 5-second hand count. The campus coaches saw it and yelled, called for timeout.
A youngster participate in the little cheerleaders. They need to be picked up on the north side of the track. All little cheerleaders, parents, at least one of them need to be picked up at the north side of the track. Help support the Cougar football team by attending their fundraiser dinners. Eat at Sonic on Monday, September 15th from 5 to 8 p.m. Indicate you are there for the Southside football team and they will donate 10% of the sales that evening. On Tuesday, September 23rd, got a Pizza Hut from 5 to 8. They will donate 10% as well of all sales that night. Thanks for supporting Cougar football.
Okay. Because a 5-yard penalty would have moved them back to the 2.5-yard line. Half the distance to the goal. Because he's standing about a yard from. They don't need a high snap now. Good snap. Got pressure on him, but it's not a good kick. He's calling for the fair catch. And he caught it inside the 30. Looks like about the 28-yard line. So that's only a 23-yard kick.
50-50 fundraiser. Are selling tickets underneath the stadium. Tickets are $1 for one ticket and $5 for 6 tickets. Help support your marching Cougars. We'll be drawing the 50-50 at the end.
Well, the band's going down to get ready to march. Halftime. You got 6:17 left to go in the second half. You got plenty of time to South put some more points on the board.
First and 10 for the Cougars, ball at the campus.
It wouldn't surprise me if they took a shot at it right here. And they are. They tried to throw back, and they had a man crossing down the middle wide open. But this was designed to throw back to Eric McCullough, and because of the defensive pressure, he wasn't able to really make an accurate throw. You fake it to the left, you roll out to the right, but then you got to stop and throw back to the left again. And he didn't have time to really plant his feet and get a good, accurate throw on that. But like I said, they had a wide receiver crossing down the middle of the field that was wide open. No one was with him. They got him with the deep guy. There's that delayed. And he could probably score. They're going to mark him out at the 2-yard line.
Ball carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
They got that player working now.
He was pushed out on the play by number 11, Tony Letterman.
I would probably see something right up the gut or right off tackle. A quarterback keeper. Touchdown. Dalton Wassenberg just
Cougar.
Powered it in.
Two-yard touchdown run by number 5, Dalton Wassenberg.
And the kick got blocked. Kick was actually blocked.
Extra point is no good.
Well, with 5:59 to go in the second quarter, we have scores Salina South 34, Wichita Campus 7. And I need to get some Mountain Dew. I ain't gonna be able to wait till I get to work and get some coffee. Okay. Mr. Avila Castro was getting ready to kick off from the 40. There's the whistle.
Kicking out for the Cougars, number 40, Fernando Avila Castro.
Let's see what he can do with the wind at his back. Line drive all the way back to the 10. And he's going to return back up over to the right.
Kickoff return by number 1.
Up to the past the 20.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number
It's going to be about the 20, where? 24, just inside the 25. They're going to mark it at the 24.
First and 10 Colts, ball at the 23-yard line.
And he's going to be tackled for not much of a gain, if any.
Ball carrier number 22, Demetrius Schley.
He's going to carry it up to the 26, 2-yard pickup.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 47, Othello Lewis.
We have a campus man down on the ground. Hope nothing serious. You can have cramping even on a cool night like this if you haven't kept up on your fluid intakes throughout the day. And you got the water, the managers from the campus team taking water out for the officials. And I'll tell you, as an official, you do like that. You get dry out there, and you don't get to go to a sideline to get a drink. He's up. He's walking with some assistance. And I can see a little hitch in his giddy-up, as they would say. It looks like something on the left side of the leg or something. But they weren't really looking at his legs. They were talking to him, and he was laying flat.
Second down 7, 27-yard line.
Okay. This thing to do with 5:29 on the clock. Looking to throw it. Threw it to the underneath man. Got one block, but he wasn't able to get completely clear. Going to keep up over the 50. They got the crossing man.
They got a stop for the Cougars, number 9, Stephen Slink.
Who crossed underneath and then used the two outside wide receivers to get a couple of crackback blocks and get all that extra yardage. Well, two South players got their ball. He's not, this quarterback for campus is not an accurate deep ball thrower. And now he's throwing into the wind. And he still overthrew it.
Second down 10, 29-yard line.
Later this week, there is a handoff, and he's going to get a couple yards. He actually could have been tackled for a loss behind the backfield.
Carry number 19, John Becker.
Now we have a late ball penalty.
Aaron Chapman, also number 43. Sam Corona, penalty marker after the play.
See if they're offsetting or might be going against South. I'm not quite sure.
After the play was over, dead ball intentional foul on the offense. 15-yard penalty, third down.
Oh, now I know why the South coaches were talking to one of the South players, one of the defensive linemen, to back up and get away, because I guess the shot had been on him and he was upset. And the coach was saying, no, back up, get away, you know, cool down. So that now 15-yarder on them. So whatever momentum they had on that nice long little pass play they had is now taking them back the other way.
Second down 23 for the Colts.
Second down 23. Good pass rush. Completed underneath. He's not going to get much.
Pass complete to number 4, Quentin Wiseman.
When you had third. Now it's fourth down and looks about 20 maybe. Or 19. Say fourth and 19.
That brings up fourth down for the Colts in punt formation number 3, Taylor Russell. Back deep for the Cougars, number 18, Jacob Marcotte.
Line drive. Way off to the sidelines. Not going to be a really great punt. Mark it down to 28.
50/50 fundraiser are selling tickets currently underneath the stadium.
No, it's a 35-yard punt.
One ticket.
No return.
Get 6.
And that's what you wanted. That's what you got.
The drawing will be at the end of halftime. Also, the South High Peppers are selling pink out shirts for the October 17th South Central game. Shirts are $15 and can be purchased at the September home football games.
All right, South got the ball at their own 28-yard line.
First and 10 Cougars.
4:10 on the clock.
Ball at their 28-yard line.
All three of their timeouts still on the board. Here's that delay handoff again. And he actually was not open to the right. He cut back to the left.
Ball carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
He got 2 yards really probably when there was nothing to get. Campus actually shut that down pretty good.
82, Neil Lemons. Gain of 2 on the play, second down 8, 30-yard line.
It wouldn't surprise me if they try a shot downfield. Hand to the fullback, and he's basically going to lose about the length of a football.
Number 44, Kieran Stegmeyer.
They're marking it on this side of 30. It was on the other side of 30 when they snapped it, so.
No gain on the
They're
play.
coming out, really kind of being conservative here. You had time to put another score on the game, on the clock.
Ball carry number 5.
Yeah, he had a hole, but if he would have pitched it to Eric had nobody in the outside. They had come back in on Dalton. Dalton, you can pitch the ball after you pass the line of scrimmage.
Gain of 5 on the play. That brings up fourth down for the Cougars in punt formation number 82, Jacob Foster.
Jacob,
Back deep for the Colts, number 2.
the son of some
Noah
friends of
Moody.
mine. Dad's Alan. I played softball with him for years. With my brother Daniel. It's a fake. It's a fake. And they've got a first
Ball
down.
carrier number 2, Eric McCullough.
And they got the ball all the way up to the 50-yard line.
Campus number 11.
Jacob jumped in the air like it was going over the top of his head. And it was snapped to the blocking back, the deep blocking back, and with the 2 guys in front of him, they just ran around the left side and got enough for a first down all the way up to the 50. And you got 2 minutes and counting on the clock. You got time.
First and 10 Cougars.
Like I
Ball
said,
at
still got
midfield.
all your timeouts. He's looking to throw it. He overthrew it.
Pass incomplete, intended receiver, number 18, Jacob Marcotte.
He either needs to put just a little bit more loft on the ball or take a little bit off it because he's got the wind at his back. The wind is still blowing. Let me take my hood off so I can get a feel for it. But there, Jacob had got behind the defender. You just need to put a little more air on the ball, let him run underneath, and keep his body between
Second down 10, 50-yard line.
the defender and where the ball is going to land. So either you get the reception or you get a holding penalty. Got to roll out to the right. Nice catch. And number four to DJ Weir. There's number 4. Called his name earlier by mistake. All the way down to the 38. That's a first down.
Gain of 12 on the play. First and 10 Cougars. Ball at the campus 38-yard line.
And they're in a little bit of a hurry up, but not much. He's looking to throw again. Come incomplete. Just a quick slant play. He's got to just. He's got to throw a little more accurate the ball there. Get your feet set. Get in rhythm. Throw to the numbers. You're looking at. You want to throw it to the numbers of the wide receiver, chest level. That way you can get your hands out, make the catch, then pull it in, tuck it in. You never catch the ball up next to your body. You catch it with your hands away from your body. I like the call, just not the execution. There you go. There's a slant play back to the other side. That's going to be inside the 25. First down. I guess there might have been a little bit of a fumble, but they might have said that he was down by contact. That takes the ball down inside the 25.
Number 18. Pass complete to number 18, Jacob Marcotte. First and 10, 25-yard line.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Cougars.
That was Dylan Becker again, and that wind still blowing, so the hood's coming back up. All right, well, that's our second shortest touchdown from Salina South.
Number 15, Dylan Becker.
It's going to be hard to beat the 4. Mr. Avila Castro set. Kick that through, and it's good.
Went good.
With 1:05 left to go in the second quarter, you got to score. Salina South 41. Campus 7, and the extra point that was blocked, that Campus blocked on South, Mr. Villa Castro just got the ball. It's a little bit too of a line drive, a little bit too low, but that one there was no doubt. You don't need to come in with a pitching wedge, but you need to have a little bit of height to get it over the defensive lineman. That's why you see most blocked field goals attempts are from distance.
Whereas insurance believes in smarter coverage because the more you know, the better you can plan for what's ahead. Booster Club would like to thank
and that's because to get the distance, he's got to get a little more of a flatter kick. Excuse me, we had some folks go pass in front of the camera. I want to make sure they didn't step up and block the view of the camera. We've got duct tape out blocking things, but these people just ignore it and step right over it.
Fernando Avila Castro.
Nice line drive bound to the 11 or 12. And he's going to get tackled over the 30, over the 35.
Kickoff return by number 1, Alex Farber.
Well, Mr. Avila Castro is only going to get stronger, being as he's a freshman kicker. He's only going to get stronger with his leg as he continues in the weight conditioning program at South. And South just won again last year the state championship, and they had a number of individual championships, which Eric McCullough was one of them. I've said many times before that when my stepson was at South, they won 2 state weightlifting championships while he was there. South has now called timeout. Maybe hoping to get the ball back. I say, Coach, you're up by 34 points. Get the kids into the locker room where it's warm. Now, if they had the ball back inside their 20 or their 15, 10, somewhere in that area, then I would be thinking about it. But now here, no. I think all you're going to see is campus running the ball.
Papa's not here today. You're gonna have to go down with the boys down there and walk across. Okay?
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, the Bucks for Band 50-50 fundraiser.
Well,
Underneath the stadium.
outside the hiccup of South giving up the long kickoff return,
Support your marching Cougars.
this has been a dominating performance in the first half by South, which has included
Second down 7, 39-yard line.
a turnover, interception return, again another handed to the up back,
Ball carrier number 22, Demetrius Schley.
and South's going to call a timeout again.
Number 87, Braden Burlew.
They're handing it to the up guy.
Timeout has been called by Salina South. That's their second timeout of the half.
They've got one more to go. Now you have 3rd down and 6. All they're doing is they're handing it to the up man and letting him run. And he's got 6 yards and 2 carries. So I think they're just trying to run out the clock, get into the locker room. My only other thing is because they've already blocked one punt, come close another time, that they just might go for another block. And that's what I'm thinking.
3rd down 6, 40-yard line.
He's looking to throw it. They're saying completion. It's a jump ball.
5, Gage Cooper.
Both of them had a hold on it. And that's where burning those timeouts now hurts you. You could already been in the locker room right now.
30 on the play, 1st and 10 campus, ball at the South 30-yard line.
And they're going to just down the ball to stop the clock because they have one timeout left and they don't want to burn it. Be 2nd down and 10 from there. Now they can get a play called and get it set up.
30-yard line.
Incomplete. Should have been a touchdown.
Intended receiver number 4, Quentin Wiseman.
Because the defender ran past him and slipped trying to get back to him. That should have been a touchdown. And they only rushed 3 and didn't get a pass rush this time. They've got to rush more and get a pass rush.
3rd down 10, 30-yard line.
Now they get a pass rush going, and they're going out that pass out in the flat. Oh, he made a mistake. He absolutely made a mistake. He only going to pick up 2 yards, and he cut back inside instead of coming outside and getting out of bounds to stop the clock. So now they got to burn their last time out.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 9.
Bad decision by the young man. You got to get outside and stop the clock.
That's their final timeout.
And that's so frustrating as a coach because you work on that in practice. Get out of bounds, stop the clock. Get out of bounds, stop the clock. But they're trying to make a play. But it doesn't matter. You coach them doing one way, they need to do it that way. And if they don't do it that way, then they need to be sitting over on the bench. All right, they got 20 seconds on the clock. South has got to watch for that flat. They need to watch for the hitch and go, the pump fake and go.
27-yard line.
I think the South guy jumped. Maybe he forced the other guy to jump. I don't know. They got the offense guy to jump. We had a defensive back sneak in from the right side of the offensive formation, be the left side of the defensive formation, come off his man to come in to fake a blitz, and they got the guy to jump, and he actually did blitz. Now we're having a meeting of the minds again.
Reset the game clock to 20 seconds.
Reset the game clock 20 seconds. We are set, and let's go.
4th down 12, 32-yard line.
They're going to pass rush on him again. There's going to be a flag for face masking on Mr. Slayton.
Pass incomplete.
Yep.
Penalty marker on the
Yep,
play.
and deservedly so. He wasn't making a play on the ball. He was playing the man and got in his face, and that's interference, pass interference. It's called face guarding, excuse me, not face mask, but face guarding, and you can't do that.
Pass interference by the defense. That's a 15-yard penalty. The result of the play is a first down.
Now you got 14 seconds on the clock.
First and 10 for the Colts. Ball at the 17-yard line.
And the flag.
Pass incomplete.
Incomplete pass play. Somebody's hurt.
Penalty marker on the field.
That's 42. I don't have a 42. Okay, it's 43. Sam Corona. Sam's a junior, 5'7", 178-pound linebacker.
Illegal formation by the offense. Not enough men on the line of scrimmage. 5-yard penalty. Replay first down.
Another 5-yard penalty on Campus. Now, definitely don't want to throw a pick six here if you're Campus.
First and 15 for the Colts, 22-yard line.
You got 10 seconds on the clock. Well defended front and behind by South. And just you're doing the right thing. You're throwing it in the end zone where you're either hoping a touchdown or an interference, which they got 2 plays prior.
Second down 15, 22-yard line.
Because the second half cannot end on a defensive penalty. So even if you had no time on the clock, all right, this time they blitz some people. Nope, incomplete. And that will be it.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have reached halftime.
So we have score of Salina South 41, Campus 7. Welcome to the halftime show here. The score of 41 to 7, excuse me. I had to check myself, 41-7. And we want to thank Maori Clinic for support and sponsoring this halftime show. As I said before the end of the second half, you take away that one hiccup by South, giving up an 85-yard kickoff return for a score, we're looking at 41-0. South had one drive deep that ended on 4th down where you could be looking at possibly a 47-7 score. I see maybe 1 or 2 more series with the starters, and then I see after that the starters are on the bench, and we get the 2s and the 3s in the game, get them some good quality time on varsity. Again, it's building for the future. It's been a dominating score. South has scored on a 75-yard pass and catch to Eric McCullough. We've had a 58-yard interception return, 58-yard pass reception, 25-yard pass reception, 4-yard touchdown run. It's just been, they've put up some serious numbers in this first half. And anytime that campus has really moved the ball, it's really been by maybe little by mistakes here on South, or now then a positive play for campus. But mostly campus has been shooting themselves in the foot. South has had pressure on the quarterback and only rushing 3. Seriously, that tells you the quality of their offensive line. When you can rush 3 and still put pressure on the quarterback, that doesn't bode well for you for the rest of the season. Again, the score is Salina South 41, Wichita Campus 7. And thanks for watching the Maori Clinic halftime show. I'll see you to start the second half. Well, I'm back here just in time for the kickoff. There was a crowd. And South kicks off.
Kickoff return by number 2. Number 2, Noah Moody. Making a stop for the Cougars, number 7, Trevin Slight.
Ran into some South pass out players down there.
First and 10 for the Colts, ball at the 30-yard line.
It's the handoff to the up back. And he actually got bumped into the offensive lineman, then bumped around to the right. And I think he's going to have enough for a first down. He does. Carried up over the 40. The wind's still blowing, but it's not as blowing as hard as it was at the start of the game. He's back to throw it. And off his fingers. And I got me some Mountain Dew.
Second down, 10, 40-yard line.
And the hood's back up. And up to the up back again. He's only get about 2 yards. What's really been impressing me is how South's defensive line, they started off with a 4-3. Then they've gone to 3 down linemen. They've been rushing 3 down linemen most of the night because Wichita just dropping back and throwing the ball. And they still been getting pressure on the quarterback and doing so. Yeah, he made an attempt on the ball, but you cannot go through the offensive man to make an attempt on the ball.
the defense. 15-yard penalty. Result of the play is a first down.
15-yard penalty is going to take it down inside the 35, down to the 33.
First and 10 Colts off the Cougars' 43-yard line.
And here we go. And it's going to be a quick pitch out to the right. He's not going to get much.
On carry number 22, Dimitri Schley. Making the initial stop for the Cougars, number 33, Cole Hoover.
Looks like he's going to get about 4 yards on the carry. I didn't even think he was going to get that.
8-4 on the play, second down, 6, 39-yard line.
He's looking back to throw, throwing this underneath guy back here. He's going to get maybe a yard.
Number 15, Colby Leeper, making the tackle for the
Just
Cougars,
about a yard.
33, Cole Hoover.
You're hoping to get a lot more than that.
They have a yard on the play, third down,
That play
5,
is designed for that, but
38-yard
South
line.
must have seen that and set up on film. That's going to be enough for a first down, except he didn't catch it. Incomplete.
Complete intended receiver number 5.
So
James
many
Cooper.
drop balls by the campus wide receivers. That really hurts your passing game. And plus, he's getting up slow. All right, we'll see what they're going to do. They're going to go for it.
Fourth down 5, 38-yard
Fourth.
line.
And it's a long 4. I'd say about 4.5 yards. He's changing the play. Intercepted. He's going to be caught from behind, but he's going to carry the ball down over the 40. I'm just going to the 50, excuse me. Going to mark it down at the 45-yard line of the campus Colts. Sam Corona, who got dinged up earlier in the game towards the end of the second quarter. He got flipped and landed on his arm, and I'm glad to see he's back in the game. He got some playing time last year,
Campus 45-yard line.
and that has shown up this year for him. He's a junior. Nice handoff to the up man, which was the fullback, excuse me.
Number 44, Kieran Stegmeyer.
And he's going to carry that ball all the way down inside to 35. That's a pickup of 11 yards.
For the Colts, number 42, Landon
They're so
Davenport.
concentrated on that pitch to Eric on the outside that, and he made a couple nice moves to get that 11 yards. South offense, when they've always had a good rushing fullback, has always been dynamic and hard to stop, because you just can't concentrate on the quarterback or on the tailback.
34-yard line.
He's rushing it again. He's going to pick up 5 more yards plus some more. You're going to drive all the way down to
44,
the
Stegmeyer.
16-yard line. That's an 8-yard pickup. So 2 plays, 19 yards for the young man.
Number 24, Austin Sublette.
But that's part of the triple option: the fullback, quarterback keep, or the pitch to the outside man. But the one thing that Dalton's got to remember, and a lot of young high school quarterbacks forget, is that even though you're past the line of scrimmage, you can still pitch the ball. Like, he's looking to throw it. He's got him. He's got him. Out jumped him. Touchdown.
Touchdown.
That was Jacob Marcotte,
Cougars.
the junior 5'11", 177-pound wide receiver. Again, I talked to you. He got playing time last year as a sophomore. That bodes well for him this year. And then we have another young man named Dylan Becker,
26 yards.
a junior who's got playing time
18, Jacob Marcotte.
in what they call mop-up as the second in the third string. But Jacob actually got playing time with the ones last year. And like that, South scores again. They're saying kick is no good.
Is no good.
It was wide left. So with 8:57 left on the clock in this third quarter, we got a South score of 47. Wichita Campus score of 7. And boy, I see a lot of people bundled up, except for, you know, those South crazy kids who paint their bodies green and they're in shorts. So, I would not be surprised if I don't see the starters after that series right there. I would be very surprised. I don't know who the second string QB is. They've got a sophomore, Justin Sullivan, another Jacob Markowitz, but he's out for the game with that bone bruise on his knee. Nice kick all the way down to about the 10-yard line. It's been a while since South's had a kicker that could kick the ball deep.
Kickoff return by number 1.
I'm kind of excited by this because since he's a freshman, and if he comes out all 4 years, by the time he's senior year, after being on the weights and conditioning program, he'll be banging that into the end zone. I'm looking for any more QBs here on their. That's it. So they've only got 2 QBs, unless they, because they knew us. No, they're only showing 3 QBs on the whole roster. And Jacobs is out for the game, so the backup QB would be Justin Sullivan.
Ball carry number 22, Demetrius Sly.
And Mr. Sly is going to lose yardage, I think, on the play.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 33, Cole Hoover. And number 87, Braden Burlew.
And we got a South man down. But Mr. Sullivan is a 6 foot, 160-pound sophomore quarterback linebacker. Interesting combination. I remember very.
31-yard line.
And they got him off the field already. He's looking to throw it. And he was hit right away, so he's not going to get much.
Number 5, Gage Cooper.
And I'm looking at this, like Braden Burlew, who they're looking at, and it is who they're looking at, the senior 6 foot, 230-pound defensive lineman. He actually plays defensive end. He's had a heck of a game. He had a heck of a game last week too. And he played very well for South last year as a junior. Okay, he got 3rd and long. Oh, just terrible throw by the quarterback. They were trying to run a kind of a wide receiver screen out to the right, and he just, I mean, wasn't even close. I mean, Kareem couldn't even have got the hand on that ball. It's just terrible throw by the quarterback. He did have some people in his face because the linemen were starting to release some of the defensive linemen so they can get downfield and start blocking, and it just blew up in his face.
That brings up 4th down for the
He
Colts
just
and punt formation
terrible
number
throw.
3.
He's not a really
Taylor
accurate
Russell.
thrower, and that I can see now the struggles they're having. Here's the kick, line drive kick, no fair catch. He's going to return it. He's got a seam. He's got a seam. He's going to carry it up over the 50 though.
Punt return by number 18, Jacob Marcotte.
That's almost a 20-yard return by Jacob.
Making a stop for the Colts.
If he had had just a touch more speed, I don't know if he could have took it all the way, but he sure would have got a lot further downfield. Because they had a seam open up when he cut back to his right. And he had some blockers lined up that way too.
1st and 10, the Cougars on the campus 42-yard line.
And Mr. Sullivan is in the game, as I predicted. And we have D'Angelo Turner, junior running backs, in. I see Hector Perez, a junior wide receiver. Okay, he just, with J.D. Warren, the junior wide receiver, that both be 2 that will flip in and out. We got Rory Boswell, senior tight end. And here's and we got number 34 at fullback, who is Damaj Smith. He's a sophomore, 5'10", 197 running back. I was watching him in pregame. He does have some size to him. He's stockily built.
No gain on the play, 3rd down 7.
They got 3rd down and 7.
Line at quarterback now for the Cougars, number 10, Justin Sullivan.
And here's a delay that would have had a 1st down.
Good ball. Full start on the offense. 5-yard penalty. Remains 3rd down.
I saw some movement. I didn't really see who it was who jumped. They always let the coaches know who the penalties are on. See if they're going to run it or they're going to throw it. They are going to run it. The quick pitch around, and he's going to get back to the original line of scrimmage, which is going to be about the 40.
Ball carrier number 11, D'Angelo Turner.
Maybe even a yard past it.
Number 1, Alex Harper.
Yep, down to about the 41. Well, if we hadn't had that penalty, we had 1st down. They had it blown a nice hole on the right side, and he had some room to maneuver.
For 82, Jacob Foster.
He had just cut it off tackle, but that's where the hole was. They had driven the defensive end and linebacker out and then sealed off to the inside. Penalty keys can kill a drive. Nice punt by Jacob. And they're going to down it inside the 5.
Again, ladies and gentlemen,
and it's going to be marked inside the 5. Excellent punt by Mr. Foster. Now I expect to see a lot of the number 2s now on the defense side. Now how long Coach Layden goes with his starters for campus, I don't know.
1st and 10, campus, 5-yard line.
He's going to hand it to the up back, and I don't think he's going to get much. He got over the 5s. He didn't even get a full yard, it looks like. And this is where your backups get a chance to play and show what they can do in game time. Because I've seen guys that were lights out in practice, get in the game, and they just couldn't play. And I saw guys who didn't look like anything in practice, but game time they could play because they didn't know that person across the line from them. That was a stranger. And the juices are flowing totally different in a game than it is in practice. It's a whole different mindset.
Devin Hopkins.
We had a kid at Brown Mackey when I was assistant coach for Coach Flax there. This kid, 2nd year, this kid was 6'5" from Wyoming, lights out. Unbelievable, Wyoming, Montana. But game time, it just got too nervous. That's going to be enough for a 1st down. Up to the 20-yard line.
Number 2, Noah Moody.
And there actually was good coverage there by the defender. Just better thrown ball tonight by the campus quarterback.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 59, Dusty Clouston. 1st and 10, campus, 20-yard line.
All right, now we got some of our starters back in the defensive backfield. But we've got some of our 2 and 3 deep there on the line and at linebacker.
No gain on the play, 2nd down 10, 20-yard line.
Man in motion, which I've not seen. Yep, going to be a flag. He's not going to get much, but there's going to be a flag against.
Number 34, Devin Hopkins. Penalty marker on the play.
So it's going to be 3rd and long, or 2nd and long, or longer.
Illegal shift by the offense. That penalty is declined. 3rd down.
They're going to keep because they really didn't get much on the play. So I'd rather go for a 3rd and 8 than a 2nd and 15.
22-yard line.
Oh, another badly thrown ball. Defender actually for South had to stop and try to come back to try to make a play on the ball. It was so bad, and it was thrown to the outside receiver. It was so short. I mean, it was like 5 yards in front of him. This is not a very accurate thrower. He's shown the ability to make an accurate throw from time to time, but he's not really very accurate. Now South is actually set up on this return with those 4 guys standing off the line of scrimmage to ensure that there's not a fake. And he's going to be able to catch it on the run. And matter of fact, I think the kid who hit him is hurt worse than Jacob is. Because he froze as he lay on the ground with his hands up in the air. He could be seriously hurt. And I'm wondering if Doc Schaefer, who usually stands along our sideline, yeah, I see him walking now. Because he was laying there with his hands up in the air, like you see a guy who's got knocked out in the ring. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me if that's what happened. Because he went in low and undercut him, but the problem is, his head ran into one of Mr. Marcotte's knees coming up. And I've seen that happen many times, and guys just get totally, they're knocked out. They're out, cold. I see Coach Stonebreaker, the AD, who's down here in the end zone looking at the ambulance. They have got the flat board and they're bringing the flat board out. So folks, we need to be praying for this young man. It could be a neck injury or it could be a concussion. I think Dr. Schaefer has gone out onto the field now. He's up. But he's being helped off the field. I can tell you right now, my guess is the way he laid there on the ground with his hands up in the air, that he was out. He was knocked out. It's very similar to what I've seen people in boxing or in MMA when they get knocked, they're not doozy, out. They're knocked out. There's no response from the eyes. That was the reaction I saw from him. So we sure hope it's not any worse than that, and thank God it's not. You hate to see it get carted off on the board like that. Right now to the left. And D'Angelo's going to have enough for a first down and out of bounds down inside the 35. D'Angelo's got some speed to him as well. So let's see, Mr. D'Angelo Turner, who's a junior, getting some quality time. So next year when he's a senior and Eric has graduated, he can step into that starting role. We have not lacked for a good running back at South, but I can't remember when we haven't had a good running back at South. It goes back to the days that my daughter was at South. And around 2000, 2001, I think she graduated 2001. My oldest daughter. Because then we had DeAndre McGrew. We had a Cooper. I mean, we had some good running backs, and we've always had good running backs. All through the years of Stonebreaker, we've had good running backs. And I don't think we've had a year when we haven't had a good running back. And they'll hand it to the up back, and that's DeMaj Smith. And he's carrying it down inside the 30. I tell you, this kid is stocky. And DeMaj is when I saw him in pads, of course, pads make, but you could tell on the back side of the thigh, when you look at the back side of the thigh, if there's muscle there. Because that thigh pad covers kind of adds to what's in front, but you could tell that he's got strong legs. He got 3rd down and 7. It's going to be a quick pitch. He's going to cut back inside, going to cut back and drive down to about the 25-yard line. He's going to be about 2 yards short of the 1st down at the 25. He needs to get down, it looks like, just inside the 23, I would say. Or the 22. Now, excuse me, he's got down inside the 22. Or right at the 22. It's hard to see from this angle. Well, they're going to go for a field goal. And the wind has almost died down, so this would be a 41-yard field goal. And they said he's got the leg strength for it. South had to call a timeout because they were missing a man in their formation. And that was the situation. And as the starting fullback, they were missing one man in the formation. We actually had a decent turnout, but after South got up big at halftime, we've had some people go home and probably listen to the game in the warmth of their home on the radio. The cameraman and I are both in agreement. And if you got a fireplace, you get the fireplace going too. Usually when I do that, I've got a movie on, it's on mute. I've got the game on, or I'll have a college game on, and I'm listening. My wife goes, that play-by-play is not following the game. I said, no, I'm watching this game, listening to this game on the radio. And she goes, how do you do that? It's like, well, it's easy. My ears are listening, my eyes are watching. I really hope he puts this through. And this is good practice. This would be a 41-yard attempt. It's got the distance, and it's good. Woo-hoo! Listen to the crowd. Listen to the crowd. Folks, we haven't had someone who could kick a 40-yard field goal for a couple of years. Well, a couple years back, we had that young man who had fought to play both soccer and football at the same time, which you have to put in an application for, and it took him 3 years to get. So he applied his freshman year and didn't get the kick to his senior year, and he had a great leg. But this kid's a freshman, folks, a freshman. And he just kicked that through. This bodes well for us for the next 4 years to have a kicker like this. Now, if this does what I think it'll do, it'll pump him up. I wouldn't be surprised to see a nice long kick out of him. And then again, he might try too hard and not kick it that well. I've seen both things happen. But I'm really happy for him. A 41-yard field goal, that really, that's going to look good. And plus, he's going to have bragging rights at the house. Yep. Down inside the 10. Nice tackle by someone who stayed in his lane. I think that was, yes, Bryce Van Noy. And I believe he had that interception return for the touchdown earlier, but he stayed in his lane, then he came back inside like you're supposed to do. And when the kid cut back this way, he was there for him and made a nice tackle. That underneath pass play, and he's not going to get much again. Folks, our linebackers and our defensive line right now are the second and third stringers. But because they're throwing, and they're throwing with their top starters, we still got a lot of our top coverage men in there. Our safeties and our cornerbacks. Our defensive backs are all still the starters. Oh, he fumbled a little bit. Oh, almost intercepted. Almost intercepted. I can't see who that is. Oh, it's way that far over there. Looks like. Oh, I thought it was number 11, D'Angelo, because he plays defensive back too. No, they got him as a linebacker. But Mr. Coble almost had himself an intercept. He cut in front, and then as he got the ball, he was trying to look down to see where his feet were because he was awful close to the sideline. It's going to be intercepted. Nope, almost. And that was Cole Calvert. That's Cade Calvert's little brother. Cade graduated last year and was just an outstanding defensive back for South. Number of interceptions, some return for touchdowns. He was also a kick returner. And I just found out, I saw Justice Stonebreaker, both of them had both assigned with Fort Hays, that Kay decided he really didn't want to play football anymore and has transferred up to K-State. And Justice is not playing. He just wanted to get out there and concentrate on books for a year, but thinks he might give it a shot later on. It's a deep kick, but it was short. And I understand some of these kids have been playing football since 5th grade Salvation Army football. So they've been lifting and playing football, and you love the game, but after a while, it does take a toll on your body, even after high school. And I can understand some of these kids, and they want to take a break. They want a body that functions during the fall, is not sore all the time. I can tell you, I do miss playing football, but you don't miss the bumps and the bruises and that you gather during the season. Because even if you don't play much on Friday night, you're still playing in practice, and you're getting hit around in practice. Going to give to the up back. He's going back to the original line of scrimmage. And I don't know right now, I can't tell you if we still have a lot of the starters in on the defense for campus. That was in your third quarter of the score. Salina South 50, Wichita Campus 7.
South 50, Campus 7.
Well, that is I don't know if they have the hurry up clock here or not. But we actually do have some people heading towards the car and heading home. We'll get in some warm temperature, get the fireplace going. They have a rule in Kansas: if you're so many points up, they run a continuous clock. So even if the play is incomplete or the player goes out of bounds, the clock keeps running because there's such a lopsided score. And that's to prevent the score get even far more lopsided. And number one rule is try to keep kids safe.
So 2 on the play, 3rd down, 12, 28-yard line.
Now Brady Shirk, the 382-pound young man, is at center. Here's a cutback. There's a cutback. Now it's going to see if he's got the speed. He's got the speed. He's down inside the 10. He's going to be marked out at about the 6-yard line.
D'Angelo Turner. There's a penalty marker on the field.
Oh, I wonder if we got a block in the back or something, or a hold. Because that was a nice cutback and run by D'Angelo. And it is holding on South. What a shame, because what a nice run. And sometimes, and what happens on a cutback, the defender tries to change directions, and the blocker's got a hold of him. And once he tries to change directions, you got to keep your arms on the inside of his shoulder pads. You can't get outside of his shoulder pads when you're blocking. So like you've hooked him, like almost like you're trying to put a hug on him. You can't do that. And what happens when you get these guys who are also start to change direction, and you're still trying to maintain a block, you see that happen quite often. Now here's a pitch to the outside. He's going to carry it up to the 35-yard line. And we're going to punt. And we had the ball inside the 10, folks. All right, well, we know the young man can just run because that was a great run by him. Even though it was a return, you can still see film on that and say, hey, this kid can run. And he's got great vision where he could cut back and see where the hole is. And he just needs to get a touch faster, and you can do that. He's a junior. You can get faster. And get in the weight room, you put on the right muscle, and you put on muscle for speed. So Jacob Foster's back in to punt. Too much time.
Before the snap, delay a game by the offense.
I'm not going to have time to talk to Coach Sellers after the game. And Charles Ross is not here to help me tonight. His church had a very big function that he had committed to and was a part of. So he was helping out there. He and his wife Phyllis are very involved in their church. A little bit of a high snap. Nice kick though. It's not going to get very far. It was more of a line drive, and he actually went across field with it, where if he straightened it out, he probably would have got another 5-10 yards. But he went across field away from the return man, and because it lost some distance. All right. I don't know if it's still got the starters in there or not. It's a pitch. They fake something, they're going to pitch it, and he's not going to get much. This is really, they've got some problems with this offense. They just really cannot move the ball. We got a dead ball. Something must have been said by somebody. Or there was a sideline warning. He's talking to the backfield judge first. The first flag, if is a sideline, is just a sideline warning. The next time they throw it, you can't be, the players cannot be out in that big, thick white line out there. It's a 5-yard penalty.
On the last play, illegal participation by South. There were 12 players on the field during the play. That's a 15-yard penalty. Results in a first down.
15-yard penalty, 12 men on the field. Again, when you have this, when you have the subs in, you get this because you get a mix up, because you got a mix of both subs and starters in there right now. So, all right, there's underneath man to the out in the flat.
Pass complete to number 8, Jay Hill. Making a stop for the Cougars, number 8, Bryce Benoit. Also number 22, Cole Calvert. Gain of 5 on the play. Second down 5, 30 yards.
All right, here we go. There's a pitch again. And he's going to have enough for a first. All right, right now, because we have the subs in, we're not getting really any penetration by a line or linebackers that we were getting with the starters. They're getting tied up in these hand battles. You got to defeat your man and get upfield. He's looking to throw it again.
Pass complete to number 2.
And it looks like to be close, another first down. The outside wide receivers on that left side did a cross, and it was actually the outside man who crossed underneath the inside man, and it's almost like they call it a pick play, and his defender kind of got bumped off him. Now they give it up to the up back, and he's going to get down into the, looks like maybe the 12-yard line. 2 or 3 yards on the play.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 81, Rory Bowles. Gain of 3 on the play. Second down 7.
Second down, and it's a long 7, folks. He's looking to throw. It's going to be caught inside the 5. It's going to be a first down. And I can tell you right now, the defense doesn't want to give up a score. Even if you've got a mix of subs in there, you held them out of the end zone. The only points they got was on a kickoff return. So the defense has done his job tonight. But this is what happens when your subs are going up against their starters. It's going to be a pitch out, and he's going to score. Did a quick pitch out to the up back around the left side, and he got inside the cone, and we're not running continuous clock yet. Kick is up, and it is good.
Extra point good by number 13.
So 7:56 left to go in this fourth quarter. You got a score of Solana South 50. Wichita Campus 14. But we should be sitting at 57-14. If we hadn't had that nice long run by Mr. D'Angelo Turner called back by a holding penalty. He got it down inside the 10-yard line. And he showed some speed. He just needs to get a little quicker, but it's kind of hard. And I guess, and
final score from Derby, it was Derby 35, Salina Central 14.
When you've got to watch Mike Jones for the last 2 years,
other finals around high school football this evening. Abilene 53, Marysville 0.
And Mike is just a pure sprinter.
40, Bay South 21.
He could have signed for football or track, really.
Hutchison 34, Newton 16.
But it's hard not to compare. But when you follow someone like that, it's like trying to follow Jake Sharp.
17, Emporia 0.
It's just you're always going to be compared, and it's not fair. Because
it is Sacred Heart 6, Minneapolis 6.
it's you can't compare apples to oranges, and everyone has their different running style. Everyone's a different build, a different athletic ability.
Taking up for the Colts, number 13, Dalton Rogers.
Another short kick. He's still on his feet. He must have stepped out of bounds. But the
Kickoff returned by the Cougars, number 23, Devin Johnson.
like I said earlier in the game, Cody was a quick power runner. I mean, he could cut back and do all that. Mike was different. He was elusive, and Mike wasn't afraid to run Benno. He did, but he was more elusive. And then he got in the open, and he just had speed to burn. I mean, he just flat out could fly. Now Eric McCullough is a little bit like Mike, and they're somewhat built the same. I think Eric's a little bit taller.
30-yard line.
And there's the handoff outside to D'Angelo. He's going to carry up over the 30,
11, D'Angelo Turner.
up to the 32. They just need to give him a decent hole, and this guy's going to take it for you.
7, Garrett Stout.
And I think, when I understand, Demaj Smith maybe be a little more quicker than Ryan Fox was last year for South, the graduated fullback. He might not be as strong as Ryan was, because Ryan was strong kid. Nice pitch, nice cut, spin. He's going to be short of the 40. He's going to be up to what, about 38? Yeah, it looks like about the 38-yard line.
Making the stop for campus, number
Nice second down carry. He made a nice cut, then spin and fight. So now you go from second to 7. Now you got third down and a long two. I'd like to see him get this first down and continue this drive and give these guys more time on the field. There's a quick pitch to the left. And he's not going to make it. They read that, and it was whether it was a safety or, and I think it was a safety, came up and stopped that and twisted him down.
Making the stop for the Colts, number 24, Austin Sillette.
So the punt team's going to go on.
The gain on the play that brings up fourth down for the Cougars.
The only problem is if you keep running the quick pitch left, quick pitch right, it allows your safeties to immediately take off to which side you're. As soon as they see that movement, they can just take off and fly. And you need almost something, a misdirection play there, where you can fake it and come back the other direction and use the speed. High punt, maybe get some more bounce out of it. It is going to get some more bounce. There you go. It's going to roll about 8-9 yards, a bounce, and we'll take that. That's actually about a 33, 34-yard punt. Mr. Foster just needs to get us a little more consistent in his kicks, and sometimes he kicks the ball too high, sometimes he kicks too low, and that's from not always having the same contact point at the same level. Now, if there's times you want to have a line drive, that's when you're trying to kick it into the wind. It's a screen. Got that wide receiver screen. They tried to run earlier. And he's going to go back round to the left over the 40, over the 45 and up to about the 48-yard line.
Taking a stop for the Cougars, number 23, Devin Johnson. First and 10, Gibbons, 38-yard line.
Band still together, still playing if you just heard that. Usually they're gone, but are able not to do much during the fourth. Incomplete.
Pass incomplete, intended receiver number 4.
Again, I told you, this is not a very accurate thrower for Wichita.
Second down 10, 48-yard line.
I'm going to try to watch his mechanics here on this throw if he throws here, and I'm going to try to watch to see what he's doing. He actually, the mechanics is not bad. And he's throwing off his back, he's got his feet stepped, and he's stepping from his back foot into the front foot as he throws. I don't see a problem with that. And usually if it's accuracy from there, it could be a number of things. It could be vision. And what I mean by vision is being able to judge where he needs to throw the ball. And it could be arm strength. It could be his grip on the ball. I'm gonna watch again here. Actually, that should have been caught. Again, another drop pass by campus wide receivers. Unbelievable, the number of drop passes that they have. And I see one of my daughter's good friends who is Courtney Morkerding. Parents are friends of ours, and they've played basketball and volleyball together for years. And she's up at K-State in the band, and she's home, but she'll be back up at K-State for the Auburn game tomorrow.
That brings up fourth down for the Colts in formation. Number 3, Taylor Russell.
When we were up there, we found out they have got that band is 400 members. It's going to be touchdown short of the 20. About a 33-yard punt, or 32-yard punt, excuse me. Courtney. Young lady can't hear me. Too far down, I'll have to say hi to her at the end of the game.
Cougars take over first and 10. Ball at the 21-yard
And
line.
we got South kids picking up trash, which is nice. Makes the job easier for the cleanup crew after the game. Oh, a nice cutback run by Mr. Turner. And he's going to be close to a first down.
Making the stop for the Colts, number 3, Taylor.
I'm starting to get the same feeling about him I had about Eric when I saw him get some mop-up play. I realized that when Mike Jones graduated, we had somebody who could step up, and we wouldn't really have a step back in ability. And I see now that when Eric graduates, we're not going to really have a step back in ability with Mr. Turner. Now this is just the speed right here. This is just the speed right here. And it's going to carry up to the 50.
Making the stop for the Colts, number 3, Taylor Russell.
And that's just pure speed, folks. That's just pure speed. They had that sealed, and then he just outran the linebacker, and I think it was a safety who got him.
Gain of 18 on the play. First and 10, Cougars, ball at the 50-yard line.
4:05 on the clock. Now that's to the up back, Damaj Smith, and he's going to carry it down inside the 45.
Number 34, Damaj Smith.
Looks like he's going to pick up about 8 yards on the play. Now this combination of Smith and Turner kind of excites me here for next year. I mean, it really does. Here's some running ability by both these young men, and Smith is a sophomore, so you're going to have him for another 2 years. And the quarterback's a sophomore, and as he develops, that's going to be just a quick pitch to D'Angelo around the right, and with Mr. Smith leading, he's going to have a first down the 39-yard line. Now, if this quarterback, Mr. Justin Sullivan, develops the ability to be a good passer, he's already 6 foot, so he has a little bit of height to him. And being a sophomore, he still might have some more growing in him. You like to have them a couple more inches so they can see a little bit more over the players and downfield when they throw the ball. And here's that delay, and Angelo's going to take it. D'Angelo's going to take it down right at just inside the 30.
Making a stop for campus number 42, Landon Davenport.
And
Number 3, Taylor Russell.
it'd be 1.5 yards short of a first down. Now, I also think now that the subs are in for Wichita campus. So that's the reason why our subs are moving the ball like this now. But just as our first team, nice delay and cutback, nice delay and cutback. He's going to be down inside the 10. That was nice read, nice patience by D'Angelo Turner. Now that really impresses me because most running backs get out and they're in such a big hurry to make a big play, they don't allow their blockers to set up in front of them. He was patient, waited, cut back to the inside. If he could have had just one more block downfield, he would have took it. All he needed was one more block to get to that outside corner because he cut back the inside and then cut back to his left again back to the outside. Nice read and run by Mr. Turner. He's going to follow that double lead up in there, and I thought he was going to score. But he had both arms around that football, and he was more concerned about not losing that football than he was about getting it in at the time. And I understand. I have no problem with that. You're in the red zone. You're getting holes. You're getting yardage. Just keep it and plug it in. I hope he finally get a score here because he deserves it because he had a nice long run called back on a holding penalty in the series before. And he actually did that against the starters on defense for Wichita campus. And they're going to do a quarterback keeper. That's touchdown. That's touchdown, folks.
Touchdown, Cougar.
Dun, 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 dun. I'm sorry, folks. That's my high school. So that's my high school song. And I love to see this, that the subs finally get to get in the field and they get the score. That is nice. I like seeing that. Because you bust your butt in practice all week long and not much chance you get into the varsity game. You can get into the game, kick is up and good with a minute 20 on the clock. The score is Salina South 57, Wichita campus 14. This has really been quite a game, folks. I just can't say that. It's really been quite a game for South. South really didn't leave too many points on the board. They did have one stalled drive in the first half deep in campus territory that they should have scored on. The first series, they went 3 and out. There was 2 passing completions. They kind of shot themselves in the foot there. Besides that, though, they haven't missed. They've been running on all 8 cylinders, and it's been a tremendous output. A lot of long plays. Even have a 58-yard pass interception return for a long play for South. It's been really quite a game. The defense really shut this team down, and this team scored 18 points on Newton. Actually had Newton down 12-6 at half. They can throw the ball. They like to spread it and throw it. You don't have a highly accurate quarterback for Wichita campus, and you don't have you got too many drop passes for their wide receivers. That's got to be fixed by them. The other problem is South ran a 3-man rush on their defense most of the game, and they were still putting pressure on their quarterback. That's not good. That's not good. Here's the kick return up the middle again. Nope, his knee went down. His knee went down.
Kickoff return by campus number 34, Devin Hopkins.
Going to mark right there, that's a good spot. I thought it was right on the 35, but they're going to mark about a half a yard past the 35. He lost his balance and his knee went down, and that's all it takes in high school ball once the knee touches the ground. I guess, folks, that was my post-game show right there. Since as soon as this game's over with here in a minute 16, I've got to head to work. So I will be heading to work. Got my Mountain Dew, so I'll have my cape. Now they're back to a 4-man rush. Ooh, ran right past the defensive lineman who made a penetration, and ran right past the linebacker too. And it was a safety who made the stop.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 19, Tanner Robinstein.
That would get the defensive coaches going.
First and 10, Colts, balls to South.
You like penetration, but you don't want to get in so fast that you lose sight of the ball and run past the running back or the quarterback. You got to come in, but you got to come in under quarterback keeper. And it was actually a lineman or a linebacker who came back from the left side of the defense and followed the quarterback around and got him.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 74, Anthony Moreno.
Again, a handoff to quarterback keeper. And he's going to be caught for a loss, big loss. I can't see who it is that made that stop.
Making a stop for the Cougars, number 30, Justin Allen.
I thought it was number 45, Jaron Stolzenberg, but they said it was number 30, Justin Allen. He is a junior, 5'9", 129-pound defensive back. Handed up the middle, and that, folks, that's going to be the game. And South will win this if you want to swing the camera around, and I'm just going to say this, folks, 57-14, South beats Wichita campus. It was a dominating performance. They only scored once on a kickoff return. I'm talking about campus. And then their lone offensive score was against our, I guess you call it our sub package, the twos and the threes as defensive line and linebacker. And that's the only way they were able to score on offense against our backups in late in the fourth quarter. But then we took the ball down on them, and our backups took it the length of the field and put it in the end zone. Plus, Mr. Turner on the series before had a very nice long run all the way down inside 10, called back on holding penalty. I'm quite very happy to see that both D'Angelo Turner, the junior running back, and Mr. Damaj Smith, the sophomore fullback, sophomore quarterback of Justin Sullivan, I see not a step down again next year. I see some excitement for next year. And we just have to build the other kids. Our subs got a quarter and a half because they put the subs in after the first series in the third quarter. So they got a quarter and a half of playing. That's great quality time. You just can't beat that. That's what helps develop you. Folks, I have enjoyed being with you. I won't be able to stay late to interview the coach. I got to get to work, and we'll see you next week on Salina Access Friday Night Football, and Charles Ross will be back with me, and we'll see you then.
Mowry Clinic provides the Salina community with a comprehensive spectrum of services delivered with compassion and sensitivity. We strive to create a partnership with our patients that promotes health and well-being in all phases of life. We care about our patients, we care about providing quality health care services, and we care about our community. Chances are you know many of us because Mowry Clinic physicians live in Salina. We are coaches for youth sports teams and leaders for Boy Scouts and 4-H. We offer time, talent, and financial support to a variety of community events and charities. Our children attend school with your children. Our families attend worship services with your families. And we are proud to call Salina home. We have a vested interest in the success of this community, and we remain committed to an independent practice model that promotes our proud heritage and philosophy to provide quality medical care centered on the relationship between each patient and the physician of their choice. You have a choice for your medical care. Choose a doctor dedicated to the pursuit of excellence in healthcare services. Choose Mowry Clinic.
What did that mean? Minor surgery. Not to me, it wasn't. I'm no risk taker. That's why I chose to have my surgery at Salina Regional. I wanted all the resources of a full-service hospital available to me. You know, just in case.
It's your choice where to go for surgery. Salina Regional Health Center, here for all your surgery needs.
The friendly staff at Salina Sports Medicine and Orthopedic Clinic, located at 523 South Santa Fe, are always welcoming new patients to serve in the areas of sports medicine, total joint care, and more. You can contact the office at 785-823-7213 or toll free at 1-866-406-4141.